where the center is HK and the radius is R. Now you are going to see circles given in general form, something that looks like this. And our job is to turn this equation of a circle that's in general form into standard form so that we can easily identify the center and the radius. This is the equation that we're going to use. X squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y minus 4 equals 0. The first step is to move the constant to the right. The constant is the number that is not attached to a variable, which is -4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides, leaving us with x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y equals 4. Next, we're going to put the x's together and leave a space, and we're going to put the y's together and leave a space. So x squared minus 2x, and then plus blank, and then plus y squared minus 4y plus blank equals 4. The next step is to complete the square for the x terms, and then again for the y's. And we previously learned how to complete the square. What you do is you take half of this number and you square it. So for the x's, half of -2 is -1 squared. So we're going to add -1 squared. But we can't just add -1 squared to one side of this equation and not to the other side without changing it. So we also are going to add -1 squared to the right-hand side of the equation. We're going to do the same thing for y's. We're going to complete the square by taking half of -4, which is -2, and square it. We're going to add that into this blank, and whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So we're going to add -2 squared. Now the next step is to simplify what we have. So if you recall, when we were completing the square, we can rewrite this as x minus 1 squared. Similarly, we can rewrite this piece as plus y minus 2 squared. And that equals 4 plus -1 squared, which is 1, plus -2 squared, which is 4.
Jillian LeBlanc to the main office, please. Jillian LeBlanc to the main office. Thank you.
So our final step will just be to simplify this right-hand side. We have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 9. Now we have turned an equation of a circle that was in general form into standard form, allowing us to identify the center, which is 1, 2, and the radius, which is 3. Okay, so we're going to do a few examples. We're going to complete the square to rewrite this equation, and then we're going to identify the center and the radius. So the first step is to move any constants over to the right-hand side. So here we have -3 that needs to be moved over with this 5, so we're going to add 3. So now we have x squared plus 6x plus y squared plus 8y equals 8. The next step is to get the x's together and leave a space, and get the y's together and leave a space. So x squared plus 6x plus blank plus y squared plus 8y plus blank equals 8. Now this is a step where we're going to complete the square. So here we're going to take half of +6, which is +3. I'm going to square it. We're going to add this value to the other side of the equation. Similarly, we're going to complete the square for the y's. So we're going to take half of positive 8, which is positive 4, squared. And whatever we add to one side of an equation, we have to add to the other. So over here, we're also going to add 4 squared. Now, we're going to rewrite this as x plus 3 squared plus, we'll rewrite this as y plus 4 squared. And then we have equals 8 plus 9 plus 16. Our last step is just to simplify. So we have x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 33. Here's our equation. The center of the circle is -3, -4. And the radius is the square root of 33. Okay, we're going to do one more together. So step 1 is to move any constants over to the right-hand side. So this 16 needs to be moved. So we're going to subtract 16 from both sides. We have x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 8y equals -16. Next, we're going to group the x's together and leave a space. So x squared minus 2x plus blank. And then we're going to group the y's together. Plus y squared minus 8y plus blank equals -16. Now we're going to complete the square for the x's. So half of -2 is -1 squared. And we also have to add that to the right-hand side of the equation. For the y's, we take half of -8, so -4 squared. And we're also going to add that to the other side of the equation. Now we're going to rewrite this as x minus 1 squared plus, we'll rewrite this as y minus 4 squared, and that equals -16 plus 1 plus 16. Our final step is just to simplify this right-hand side. So we have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 1. There's the equation of our circle. The center is 1, 4. The radius is the square root of 1, which is 1. Okay, so now I would like you to try problems 3 and 4. Complete the square, and then identify the center and the radius of each circle.